Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, issue number 45. This issue does a good job of showing why the team involved in this comic book, probably the hardest working people in the comic book industry today. I don't know about how hard people are working in the indies and, like the real indies where we've never heard of that logo name or whatever, but this is like the amount of work that's put into this comic book. It's unbeatable. All right, let's get talk about who made this comic book. We'll talk a little bit about the comic itself. Ryan North is the writer. Derek Charm is the artist. Rico Renzi on colors. Travis Lanham on letters. Erica Henderson on the cover. And Michael Allred did the logo. Regardless of what I just said about, hardest working people in comic books, it's going to sound kind of weird that I'm going to say that not a lot actually happened in this issue. We still get a full comic book worth of the typical Squirrel Girl antics, the questions that she'll have, the absolute cuteness in all of this book. I don't know if you can use the word that way, but bang, now suddenly you can. Basically, her and Ratatoskr, this has got to be one of the cutest freaking team-ups ever, all right, in comic books. I love this character. I love the Ratatoskr character. I'd be down with a Ratatoskr comic book. That being said, I'm cool with this being just being in this comic book. Then we get some really bad news. The bad news is that this comic book is going to be canceled with issue number 50. Not really fair for Marvel to do that after a tie-in, right? I guess this is still after the first issue, the War of the Realms tie-ins happened, last month? Was that 2 weeks ago? Something like that. Anyway, there's still one more War of the Realms tie-in. I guess they were kind of hoping that this would have improved the sales of the book. It's genuinely, it's kind of sad that there aren't more people reading this book. First off, there are enough people reading the book that they're able to do a letters section. There's a whole lot of books out there that don't have anybody writing in for the letters section. I mean, you could tell because they're like, hey, write into the letters section. I've seen people in the letters section before. Yeah, but this week there's nothing in the letters section, and there's always something in this issue, in this comic book. Sometimes more than one page. More than that, the number of people that I see dressed up as Squirrel Girl is nuts when you go to a comic book convention. Niagara Falls Comic Con, by any stretch of the imagination, is a small Comic-Con when put up against Fan Expo Toronto. So I was there for all 3 days of Niagara Falls Comic-Con, and I found 3 completely unrelated people dressing as Squirrel Girl, which is just, that's wild, man. I didn't see that many people dressed up as Wolverine. I mean, just to give you an idea, that is cool. I love the idea that we get to see so many people who actually love a comic book character, and yet somehow this comic book is being canceled. I don't understand it. I really don't. Is it because the sales? Is it just because Ryan North has had enough of, the comic book? I honestly don't know. But either way, it's sad. It's cool they're getting to go up to number 50. That's cool. But, I don't know, man. Would I have continued reading the comic book after this series? Maybe. Maybe. But even if I didn't, it's pretty evident that some people are. So, probably going to be some heartbroken people out there. Me, I don't like the idea that any comic book is going to be canceled. You want to shuffle around some people, whatever, it is what it is. But actually canceling a comic book, man, that always hurts. Anyway, guys, you got until 50, so 5 more issues. And 1 more issue, the War of the Realms, that's going to tie into this. Squirrel Girl suddenly has a really cool plan, and the trick is, can we see what that plan is before we actually get to the plan? Maybe. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.